Alright, so let's go ahead and do these beams. I'll come to my ground floor. I'll just close these for now. So ground floor. Also what I might do is just move in these. I know I'm going to need them soon. Alright, so just going to move these in. East view as well, and the west. So just all of them for now. Now, like I said, we're going to be taking a lot of sections, and these are going to get very confusing. So please try to follow along. Section. I'll take one through here to start off with. All I want to see is just this one beam. Right click, go to view. Sorry. Now let's. The only thing I care about at the moment is my ground floor. I don't want to look at anything else. Just this one. So this is the mesh in the slab up above. And if I change the wireframe, you see the bottom. And this is obviously my supporting beam. Now these get a bit tricky. Putting all these together. But how we are going to view this for simplicity is this beam is going to be poured first. The slab will be poured after. So this beam is we can pretend there's a line. If I draw it, we're going to visualize a line here, separating it from the two. So this will be one unit, this will be a second. Alright. So what I mean by that is our ligature, our cage, isn't going to support up here, it's going to be enclosed in the beam. So structure, rebar, we're going to be using AHT. It's going to be N10, and our placement is parallel. Okay, so straight away it comes the whole way out. That's not what I want, so I will put this here for now. Now what I'll do is click on my beam. I'll edit my rebar cover. It's my beams, it's 20. Now if I click on my ligature, I'm going to specify this dimension here. So B is my width, so from this edge to this edge, and my A is from this bottom edge to this top edge. So I know if I have a 20mm cover and then coming up again, and I have a 20mm cover at the top, my beam's 450 by 300, so 300 take 20 take 20, so this here is 260. So that will give me a 20mm cover between here. Now I'll specify these, maximum spacing 300. Okay. Let's put in our N20s. So 2 N20s top, 4 N20s bottom, and obviously 40 MPa concrete, which we specified before. Just double check it. 40. Cool. So rebar, shape S. Okay, go change the plane that it's in. It's better. N20s. Fixed number. I have 4 down the bottom. And then I'm going to have 2 up top. Remember, try and grab the arc. So that's put in this beam. Now if I look at my 3D, oh sorry, I have to set these, the visibility states, just like before. So view unobscured, just stops us having to go through and put in the transparency in our 3D. I need to make this one the same. Select all, view solid and view unobscured. Cool. So that is this here that I've just modeled. Alright. Let's look at my east view. Let's see if I can see it. I'm in the wrong face. Is it on the north side or the south side? Other side, south. Okay, so this is it here. I'm just going to hide this section for now. So this is going to get a bit busy, but what I can see is this line is the line of my column, and this is the line of my beam. So this ligature I don't want to sit here, so if I select them, I can untick this one, just get rid of it. I can untick this one. So unticking this box removes the first item. Alright, so if that was sitting on this center line, it's now 300 to the center here to here. But if I don't want to do that, so if I want to keep both of them, what I can do is annotate detailed line. I might bring it back, say 50. Select it, and I might just move it to be on that line. Delete, delete, and do the same on this side. 50. Because we're still going to need one here. As you guys have learnt from your mechanics, if I look at my shear force or my bendings, my bending comes down, I have maximum bending in the middle because it's simply supported, and then it comes back up, whereas my shear is going to come up and it's going to come down. So it's going to be 0 in the middle, so it's going to be highest at both my supports. So what I can do, and what does happen, is these ligatures will be much closer towards the column, and then they'll spacing out further as we get into the middle of our beam, and then they'll come back closer again. And that's just due to the shear forces, which you guys should be able to appreciate and respect that that's what's happening here. So same thing here, let's just move this so it will snap for me into the middle. So that line's cutting the middle of that ligature. So Revit is pretty smart in that regard. Close them. So that's better. Now, the issue I have here is these beams. These longitudinal reinforcement. I'm going to tuck them back, and then we're going to be putting in these cogged bars. So one that will run under and bend up, and then another one that will bend down. So what I can do, and Revit should snap this for me. I'll zoom right in so I don't miss the line to there. Okay, make sure you do zoom right in, otherwise you will miss it. And it's this edge face here. Yep, I didn't zoom in far enough, obviously. Wrong one, so on. That's better. Okay. I'll have to do the same for the other side. So if you're not on thin lines when you're doing this, this is going to be very difficult. So thin lines is that one. Okay, so that's thick. So if you're trying to do it like this, good luck. I have no idea how you're going to manage it. So make sure you click these thin lines up the top. Now let's come right in again. No, that's not snapping. There it is. Awesome. So now that these are in here, what I'm going to do is I need to put some on the other side as well. If I look at my 3D, obviously there is a concrete beam here through both of them. I'm looking at the wrong view. It's really helpful, Nathan. Well done. So I need to come to this side and then through again. Ground floor. So I've reinforced in here. Now I'm going to put some in here. We're not going to put in reinforcement, remember, in these walls. Our contractors will do that. Precast and pre-stressed concrete is a completely different ball game. Alright, so we'll trust our contractors to do that. And usually what will happen is you can import in those Revit families. So let's take a section through the other way. To there, right click, go to view. Same thing, all I care about is my ground floor. Just going to go through the same principle here. So I'll do this one a bit quicker. Rebar, HT, and 10. So I'm just going to select all of them and change the rebar cover to all of my beams at the same time. And now changing this again, 260. This is a 300 spacings. Cool. And 20. I have 4 on the bottom and top. Alright, let's come back. Sorry, not to my east, it was my south. So I'll have to do the same thing. Annotate, detail line. Just going to move these back 50. As always with Revit, there is many different ways you can do this. But I think for the first time coming in to do any kind of like heavier duty or a larger scale of modeling, this is probably the easiest way to do it. So moving them back, and again, we're learning modeling principles, not the actual concrete design of things. So some things we will simplify, other things we'll go more in depth in. Now let's move these back again. Just like even these, you don't have to snap them back. You can alter other things and take measurements, but if you can get Revit to snap, that's not it. That's better. Okay, Revit will snap for you. But if not, you can play around with these settings and use measurements. But this is just the easiest way to do it. So what I could do, and we're about to do in the next step, is so this entire length of this bar is 10 meters, 815 millimeters. Could measure the end of this bar to here. It's 410. 410 times 2 is 820, because we have the same on the other side. So I have the same here. I remember our core walls here. So that'll be another 410. So we can measure it and reduce it. But for now, this is going to be okay, just to click and drag it. So again, zooming right in to make sure Revit will snap that line for me. Awesome. Alright, so now if I look at my 3D, again I have to make everything, sorry guys, what I've just modeled, select them all, make it so I can see them, and then same again. Okay, I have selected all of them, so right click, select all. Okay, I'm hitting SA on the keyboard. So now what I find myself with is a beam, media, column, and another beam. So a T-junction basically. Now this, as it comes up with shear or with bending, I have a great bending moment. So remember, our bending is going to come down, it's going to come up, and it's going to come back down again, and it's going to come back up. So I have a negative moment over my support. My support is this column here. Now at the moment I have no continuity. So if I look at the PDF, I have my negative reinforcement rebar up the top running through, and I have my continuity bars down the bottom. Okay. So how do I do this? Our continuity bars here, so 1600s, 800 both sides. So I think, hopefully I've given you the page. They allow between 32 to 40 times the depth, the diameter of the bar, so 32 to 40 times the diameter. So we're using N20s, so we're taking here 800 millimeters on both sides. Also, that is reliant on your development lengths. You have to ensure that your steel has enough grip to the concrete, so enough anchorage for it to start actually yielding and being used in tension. Okay. So what we're going to do is come to my section. I will use 50 millimeters on this side, 50 millimeters on this side. Okay, if I look at this one here, if I zoom in, what they would do is they can tie to the tops of these ligatures here. Our bottom ones will put hard up against these bottom bars here. So we're just going to reflect this image here in our detail. Revit. So structure, rebar. Shape S, we're going to be using a 20 mil bar. Yep. So now I get all these kind of measurements coming in. So I have to try to work out where's the best place to put it. So what I might do is I'm just going to click it somewhere in here, like that. Escape, and I'm going to click it. And I'm going to see where it's measured from. Okay. So move my measurement down, so it's coming from here. So I want the center. Alright, so this is the center mark. At the moment it's telling me 21.2. I have a 10 millimeter ligature. I have a 20 millimeter diameter bar. So the midpoint is simply 10 plus 10, so 20. Now the next thing that I can do is I can either move my reference point, which is probably the easiest way to do it, which is going to be 50. Click on it, mirror, this is the midpoint, mirror about the grid line, and I have another bar sitting here. Now, select this one, control, select that one. change it so I can see them. Now let's come to our 3D and have a look. These are the bars that I have here at a full length, which isn't what I want. I'll come to my south. This is the bars here. Now what I want is from this center line, which is the grid line, 800 on one side, 800 on the other side. So my total length, 1600. So that there. Okay. Annotate detailed line. Select here, coming across 800, just cutting through. Grabbing this bar, move from the end point, moving straight across until I meet this line. Okay. So now I should be able to measure, and what have I done wrong? Did I not move that far enough? This is not long enough. Which one is it? I'm just going to double check the measurement there. No, 1600. Oh, sorry, I've come from the face of the wall. That's why. Let's try that again. Detailed line from the center line to 800. Now straight down. Sorry guys, it is a long weekend. Move. Let's try that again. From the end straight across. That looks a bit better. So this bar here, now let's double check. Always double check. From there to there, 800, much nicer. Come look at our 3D. Obviously I haven't moved both the bars at once, so I will go redo it. So I've moved one of them, so that bar's in the right spot. Okay, now I'm going to go back and remove this one. So this is what these top bars are going to look like. I'm just going to move the secondary one, so this one. Let's come back onto our south. This bar, double check, make sure it's the right one. Back to our south. 1600. Move. Now I can just grab the end point and move it up. Sorry, if not, just move them at the same time, make your life easier. I'll do another case for the bottom, and hopefully that will give you a better example for the top. So apologies for that, but this is how, if I center it, that will start to look. So I can see my continuity up the top, sorry, my tension and continuity up the top, which is these two bars here. Now put in these bottom ones, using the same way. Section. So I'm going to tie this one next to here, next to here. Structure, rebar, and 20. So one there, one there. So Revit will snap for me where it's going. Okay, so I can just move along and Revit will start to snap. Okay. Same thing. So these two. Change it so I can see them. Have a look at my 3D, and it's just going to be that one, going in the other direction. Back into my south so I can see them a bit better. change my A to be 1600. Which is these two. Now, annotate detail line from a center line, 800 across, 800 and then straight down. I'll come to my 3D to grab them. So select, hold control, select, so grab them both, come back to my south, move from the end to this mark here. Look at my 3D. These two bottom bars, I might isolate it to make life a bit easier to see. I don't want to rotate it away. Someone there. Just move this one down. Just bring it out so I can see it a bit better. So I have this bottom bar and this one. Now they are clashing. That's what I can see here. So if I spin it around, what I can see is this bar is clashing with my other bars for my columns. So I'm either going to have to move it on top or onto the other side of it. It's up to you which way you would like to, but they can't be clashing like this. Or I can move it to the side because I can tie it to the bottom of these cages, which is what I'll do. So quite simply, I'm just going to be moving the 20mm diameter, which is from that edge to that edge. And same thing here, move from, just let me grab it. Oh, sorry, this one. Move from that edge to that edge. And you can move these down as well because they will sit hard on the bottom now. So they will be moved down a little bit. But that's not the end of the world right now. Okay. So that's sitting a bit nicer, which is good. So that's how we put in these continuity bars. I know this starts getting a bit weird and complicated, but effectively this section here is what we're looking at here. Okay. So you will need to do this at all of your T-junctions. So if I come to, if I get out of this so you can see everything. So this detail, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and on the other side as well. Don't stress too much. What we can do is select them in 3D. So select the top ones, select the bottom ones, come to an elevation, copy, I have one here, I have one here, I have one here. Copy, one here, I won't have one here, copy again, and then just come back down. Edit, make sure you can see them all. I haven't selected them all yet. Select all, as you can see them. Alright, and now what you can do is come through, put in your beams and tidy them up. You won't have to tidy them up again, but you have to tidy up your ligatures. Alright, so go through and do that for all of them. For the next video I will show you how to put in our corners, how we're tying into these columns and how we're tying into the beams. Alright.